Hey everyone, it's Eddie here, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Drummer. Today, I want to teach you how you can increase your chances of landing a potential client when they come to you and ask to work with you. So, here's a quick question for you now. What do you do when someone comes to you and says, I want to work with you? What are your rates? I've got this project. What do I need to do next to work with you? Do you just message them back? Do you send them an email with the information, or do you send them a quote form? Ideally, you should be sending them a quote form every single time that details all this information to them. The benefits of having a quote form is improved communication between you and the client, which ultimately saves a lot of time in the future. It's also much more formal than a simple message, so it looks better for you and your business and increases your chances of getting a project. Perhaps the most important reason for having a quote form is that everything is in writing. So if it comes to the client asking any questions later on, then it's very much hassle free because everything was in writing from the start. So you can just bring up that quote form and say, look, you paid this amount for these services. So there's not really any kind of argument there. So I'm just going to go through now what, in my opinion, should be in your quote forms. The first thing should be the client's name and the details of the project, the main outline of the project. So let's use an example here. Someone comes and says, look, I want you to write and compose and then record 2 drum tracks for me for 2 songs. So then at the top of the quote form, you'd put 2 songs or 2 tracks of drums composed and recorded for Bob. You'll then include some finer details about what is actually included and what is not included in your project. So in the what's included section, using this same example, you'd probably put something like 2 songs composed from scratch to a backing track, and then 2 songs of drums recorded to 24-bit 44.1. It's just a bit more specific and gives that client a bit more information about exactly what they'll get. The not included section is extremely powerful because sometimes clients will assume or just expect that they're going to get something along with the service. So, unless you detail that this is not included, then you can't really argue against them when it gets to that point, or if they bring it up and they're not happy about it. So, for example, you may record these 2 songs, but they expect and think that they're going to be quantized and edited and ready to mix. So if this is not part of your service, then you will simply put not included. Under that section, you'd put drum quantizing and editing. Using the same example, you might want to put under the not included section stuff like reverb and dynamic processing and EQing, just simple things like that, just so they know that it's not included and they're not expecting that either. Better still, putting this in your not included section might drive them to want to pay for them services and therefore increase your rates and increase the amount you'll get per project. Another important thing to include is the estimated delivery date. So then that client knows roughly when to expect that. So they're not constantly emailing you and bugging you about it. You would also obviously have to include the pricing, and you can put this in a table which breaks everything down service by service into however many songs you do for each service to really break down where the money is going, where the pricing is at, and that's just a lot clearer for your clients to understand rather than just giving them one sum or one figure for the quote. Next, you probably want to dive into some finer terms and conditions, but it's important to not label it as terms and conditions because that just looks really sketchy and as if they're signing something and there's some hidden information there that you're trying to keep from them. Personally, I'd label that section something like things you need to know or important to note, something like that. In this section, you may want to include things like revisions and refunds and cancellations and anything along them lines that isn't included anywhere else in your quote form. The more you can put into this quote form, the better, because that means that you're not emailing back and forth all the time. If you cover everything in this quote form, it means that you're going to be able to deliver and work on projects much more efficiently, meaning that your hourly rate goes up and gives you more free time. What's the point in wasting time on emailing clients back and forth because your communication was poor when you can spend your time on recording or other tasks that are actually giving you money and driving the cogs of your business? Lastly, but most importantly, you need to say what the client should do next to book the project with you. If the client doesn't know where to go from here, if everything's good and they want to go ahead, then it's going to mean that they're a bit confused and they might be hesitant to go ahead. So if you need them to email back or reply back or make a payment, make sure you detail this at the bottom of your quote form so they know what to do next and where to go from there. So what you can do now then is go into Microsoft Word or Apple Pages and start creating your quote form. It's super easy and super simple and free to do. So that is a really good option for you there to just go and create a quote form and start improving systems in your business to earn more per hour. The quality and the way you present the information in your quote form will directly affect how many potential clients will want to work with you when you send them these quote forms. That's why now I want to quickly introduce you to some software that's going to boost your chances of converting clients and get you more projects. This tool is called Better Proposals, and it's an online software where you can send beautiful looking proposals and quotes over to clients and they can sign them and pay securely, meaning that you've got a really good system there for your business where everything's working in the background for you. They look super professional to potential clients, and the best thing is you can actually track when these clients open the quote forms and how long they spend in each section. This shows you where clients are spending more of the time looking on your quote form and might highlight any part of your quote form that doesn't, create that much of an interest and you might need to reword. If you click the link in the description, there's a free 14-day trial for you to use at your own leisure and it's no commitment. But before you do that, I just want to show you a quick snippet now of me using it, the features that's included, and I just want to show you how great it really does look and how easy it is to use. So here is the dashboard for Better Proposals, which you will see as soon as you log on. You can see here that you've got your outstanding proposals that have yet to be signed, and that sums it up there with your conversion rate. When you first sign up, it gives you some settings to type in, which includes your the email that you use, your logo, the services you offer. I just skipped these just for the purpose of this tutorial, but now I just want to show you how you would actually set that up. So here is where you can change the name, the email which you send from, the fonts, your logo, thank you pages, how you accept payments, and you can even create your own custom domain. So there's a lot of functionality in this section here. If you go back now and go into your products and services, here is where you can add all your different individual products or services that you do sell. So as per the example earlier in the video, I've got drum editing, recording and composing here. So if we just go into edit mode, this is what you'll see once you create a service. You can detail the name here, a little bit of a description, and you can choose the pricing, whether that's a one-off, monthly, quarterly or annually. You can also choose to make this certain service an optional product, which I have done with drum editing, so then the client can decide if they want the drum editing or not. So basically, once you've created all your individual services, you go over to templates and you can create your own from scratch. And what you will do is you'll create a template for each service or combination of services that you offer. And that is so when you get asked for a quote, it's just a case of bringing up the relevant template, typing in the client's name, typing in the amount of each service that they want, and then it's ready to send. So here's one that I made earlier. You can actually bring up Better Proposals default templates, and you can edit them if you like the look of any of their own defaults. So if we go into edit mode here, you can choose a template name, which I've done composing and recording as per the example earlier. So this is where your logo would be, and all your individual pages are here. You can add as many pages as you like, and as you can see, the default template looks really good. It's just a case of editing text, editing background images, changing colors of backgrounds, changing fonts if you want to. Here you've got your table of services. I'll show you how that works later on, but that is basically how it will look. You can do it so it shows the quantities here. So when it comes to actually sending the quote, you would actually type in this number here and it will generate the amount for the quote. So we would be turning show quantities on for all of these. And at the bottom here, you've got a place for them to actually sign, which means that they've actually adhered to your own terms. So when it comes to, if it comes to any point of disagreement, you've got it here in writing and they've actually signed to it as well. At any point in the page, you can add sections, you can add text, more images, features, videos, your pricing table and digital signature. You can only add one of them per page, but you don't need more than one per quote anyway. So if we go back now, I'm actually going to send over a proposal just to show you how the tracking works, because that is the really cool thing about this. So if we go and create new proposal, a new contact, and we'll send it to Bob. You can choose your cover here for the actual proposal, a template, so that composing and recording quote template that we used earlier, currency, and do you charge tax. So once you're happy with that, click next. So with that cover photo that you chose, this is where you can literally do that outline of blah 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 quote for so and so, write the name in there. You can change this here to some more specifics, so to songs composed and recorded. So there's no capitals, it looks scruffy, but just for the sake of this example, just type in some more info there and type in the name there. So that is what they will see with your logo up here when they open up this proposal. But obviously this is just the example of the template that I created. You can customize this as much as you like. So if we go next, you can actually make some kind of edits if you do want to edit stuff, and then type in the quantities here to and let's say they chose to say yes, so 2 there, and it generates your quote at the bottom there. So let's skip this now. There's some more settings for your own custom domain. But so say we want to send it to Bob. Can actually send it to multiple people if we like. We'll call him Bob just because I can't think of a name off the top of my head. I'll send it to my own personal email. I'm not going to bother blanking my email out. If you want to send me some memes or something, then go ahead. So there we go. You can type in a little message here, and that is actually what they will see. They'll get the message and then that big button there to read the proposal. And then it's just a case of pressing send. So here's the actual email that I received. It's got that message there, and they would literally click read your proposal. They'll go onto it, they see everything, view quote. We'll start scrolling through here. They've got that option there to add that if they want to. And then they'll obviously sign there and accept. You can click down here onto terms and conditions. And they can even print it out and share it if they want to as well. So if we go into the dashboard now, and you can see that we've sent that proposal to Bob. If we click in that, now that Bob has opened it, you can actually see here which device is opened it on, how long he's spent on each individual page. And this is really important because it can show you if they're not spending a long time on a certain part of your quote form, then it might not be gauging their interest enough, and you might have to change some wording and make it a bit more interesting. So for example, if people are reading the quote and then dropping off straight away, then that's a sign that, you know, the pricing's maybe a bit out of what they can afford. Just to mention as well that the email that's actually tagged onto Better Proposals, you will actually receive an email notification when that person has opened their proposal. So you can toggle that on and off if you want to. So basically, whenever this quote form is opened by the receiver, this will keep updating and giving you all the settings and information about how long they spend on the quote form and each section of it. You'll find out when any kind of proposal has been accepted, and you can track all your data and all your income using this dashboard here as well. So that is basically how Better Proposals works. It's so easy for anyone to use, it looks great, and it literally takes no time at all to send amazing looking quotes and proposals to your clients. If you can integrate this into your business systems, I really believe that you're going to start converting more clients and getting more business from that. I guarantee right now that no one else is using this as a drummer. So if you can send clients these kinds of proposals that look amazing and are very detailed and have good communication, then you will immediately stand out above the rest and wow that client even before the project started. So that's it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful for you. Like I said earlier, you can either go into Microsoft Word or Apple Pages and create these quote forms yourself, or you can click the link in the description and get your 14-day trial for better proposals and start creating amazing looking quote forms and proposals and increase your chances of converting clients when they want to work with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.